Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Mr. Rick here to let you know about this sick banjo player that one of my banjo students just sent me. It's this guy named Clay Russell who I haven't heard of, but like check how hot this big mon is. And it says banjo player ascends. Dude, sup? Yeah, so one of my banjo students, Glenn, just asked me to transcribe it, so let's take a look at the tab. Okay, so we can listen to this thing. Okay, so let's take a look at what this guy's doing. So this tune is called Big Mon, and he's in A, and I put a metronome to it. He's actually playing this at around 165 beats per minute. So that is that's faster than normal mortals. And this guy looks like he's around 20 years old, and so I think we got a prodigy on our hands. Probably from the South, I don't know. Clay Russell. So anyways, let's take a look at these first 4 bars, which is kind of straight ahead Scruggs style. So that's pretty good. Okay, so this first measure. Cool, he starts off with a pinch, and then he plays 4 square rolls. That's pretty cool. I love that. Those 2 square rolls on the F chord. That's cool. So I love it. Scruggs style Big Mon. Okay, then he goes like okay, he ends it with a square roll. This is a cool thing. I've been transcribing some Ron Block, and I've noticed that the MASH dudes, they tend to do this kind of, they do that pinch a lot, and I'm kind of unfamiliar with that. I haven't done that one too much. So that's a sweet one. He does kind of like, I mean, that thing right there, that's like a Bob Dobalina roll. So it's cool. It's like a Bob Dobalina into a pinch on the C, and then a square roll to come out of it. Okay, cool. So this next measure, it's almost all square rolls. So that whole thing right there. Yeah, so that guy, so you got a square roll, another square roll, and that actually, even though it's a single string lick, it is a square roll. And then he does a little forward roll with that 3-0-2. And that guy, Bob Dobalina, so that those first 4, that's a straight, like it's a middle and then index forward Dobalina into a middle reverse. Okay, cool. Now the second 4 bars is where things start to get much more fancy. So what I recognized first off to my ear is I heard a lot of like displaced rhythms, you know, and heard like some harmonic complexity. So this is what I basically think he did. I'll play it. So it's something like that. So this guy, I immediately heard like that measure. I heard that like that Can't Stop Now kind of harmony, but he didn't play the Can't Stop Now lick at all. He played something totally different. I've never heard of this combination of notes. Very playable. Notice like the forwards and backward rolls throughout that whole thing. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a look at that. This is where he gives away the melody of Big Mon. Okay, cool. So that, I mean, that's cool because it's like, notice the roll forward, and a forward, backward. he's starting and ending on the downbeat there, or he's ending on the offbeat, but starting on the downbeat, so you can be a little more oriented here. Starting on the down of 1. This guy starts on the down of 2. And, yeah. That's a cool little F lick. Okay, and then he starts with this, and then there's this lick. Which is like, that is just sweet. It kind of sounds to me like Can't Stop Now. And what's that other Bela Fleck tune? It kind of has that kind of tonality that like, it's like it's like a suspended mixolydian, you know? It's like, yeah, so yeah, I mean, notice like forward, like the forward, the backward rolls, the forward rolls, the backward rolls. This one makes this very playable to me, and I'm very glad that on the Instagram post it said Banjo Ascends. Like that is like, yes, this is Banjo Ascension. This is beyond Banjo Ascension, but this is sick because it's roll-based playing, and he's getting some really cool harmony. And the reason why he's able to play at like 165, besides being an incredible player, but the rolls are on. He does not violate any of like the things that would cause rolls to like choke up, but he's getting all sorts of sick harmony. Anyways, so in this one, so he plays the same kind of lick, except he does it in minor. That F is still the same, but he does this guy in minor. And for everybody who's unfamiliar with that guy, that kind of Blackberry Blossom position, you like, but yeah, anyways, that 8 there makes it takes it from the 9, which is a B natural, to an 8, which is a B flat. So that's minor. Also notice the 6 there and the 7 there. So that 7 is kind of more of a. So that's this piece right here. This one's major. And the second time he does it, he revisits it, but does it minor. And then he plays that F. I should also indicate that that's a pretty sweet alternate index roll. Yeah, alternate index into like, and this guy right here is kind of like an abbreviated square roll, but he actually doesn't finish the square roll because he starts on the middle finger right there. So this is some expert playing. This is some very, very expert playing, and I'm really happy to see a young guy like fucking shredding like this. You know, no sissy picking at all. Okay, so then he gets out of this guy, yeah, right back into some good straight ahead Scruggs style stuff. Again, minor pentatonic sound, because this dude probably plays some mash. Yeah, that's just straight ahead, just good. And I'm also playing it right here, because that's where the Scruggs style phrase happens. Notice before he exits out of this thing, well, two things to notice is that the shift happens right there. I should actually probably indicate that. I like putting like the little caret. Oh wait, whoops. Above tablature. I like indicating where the shift happens with a caret. Yeah, so anyways, that shift happens right there, and that's how you get into that F note, that F chord. And notice the shift happens, and you're like, it's kind of, you're displaced. You have 1 E and or 2 E and You're on the of 2 when you make that shift. Okay, so, and I think that might be actually a 0. I don't know, but how I tend to transcribe is I try to figure out what the roll is, and then I figure out what notes they play second. Yep, and then he doesn't do a pinch, he does like 1 note, which is sick. Okay, cool. Now we'll go on to the next few bars. This is where he starts to hot dog. So this thing, I'm not gonna be able to play it exactly how he did, and keep in mind, he's playing this at 165 beats per minute. And the mandolin plays, it's pretty sick, dude. Yeah, I really like where this is going. But anyways, I'll try and play this. It's butchered that, but you get the idea. Okay, so let's start talking about this. Well, I guess let's look at this phrase. That is excellent. What I heard is kind of like the melody to Big Mon, which is like it's like a Scruggs style madness. I usually go. That's what I do. He's going, which is all pretty straight ahead. Notice this whole thing. He starts off with an index forward roll. Yeah, he does index forward for 2 beats, and then he goes into a forward backward roll. Perfectly playable. Okay, cool. I love it. That might trip you up if you're unfamiliar with it, but it is just a forward roll. But it's going to give like a little bit of a syncopated feeling. Okay, this is where I am a big fan of the alternate index roll. And he throws that in there perfectly. Doesn't lose a beat about Scruggs style playing. But the alternate index roll, like Bela will do that stuff a lot. I'll do that stuff a lot. And it really like kind of alternates. It opens up the Scruggs style into being able to do like a lot more different sounds that aren't necessarily syncopated. Because that alternate index roll, you can get this kind of sound. And I want you to pay more attention to the rhythm rather than the harmony. This kind of sound, where the emphasis is more on the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it kind of is equivalent to a square roll, but like the index finger equivalent of the alternate thumb roll. And he just throws it in perfectly. And he captures the melody. So I'm a big fan of this phrase right here. That's cool. That's hip. That's hip. Yeah, and then you wanna bump that puppy out. That downbeat, the index finger gets the downbeat. There. You get it. Okay, cool. Now he starts the hot dog. This is where, when I heard this originally, my first impression was like, oh, dude, this guy is getting very rhythmically displaced. And I was like, what the hell is going on there? And I didn't really know exactly how he was fingering it, but I watched the video. I'm pretty sure this is what he's doing. So, let's see, how should we start? Yeah, I guess what I have highlighted right there. So that's going up to there. That is not too bad, but you can see like that note, the 2, that E note in this case, is going to start to hit at some rhythmic syncopation. And that right there on the down of 4 is when he starts to lick, which is what gave me the impression of the rhythmic displacement. So he's starting this lick on the down of 4. So what's happening there? I mean, I should probably label this because I'm pretty sure he's doing pull-offs and hammer-ons. But I don't like writing out all the pull-offs and hammer-ons because like you can tell what it is without all the extra writing in there. So I like to have my tabs a little more clean. It's just like the pull-offs, the hammer-ons are kind of implied, and also up to the player. But I'll write them in because I love you guys. Notice, yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th time he hits the first string in that lick, that's when he goes up to that F. Okay, the other thing, why I would never improvise this is because he actually ends up like this whole thing, like up to there. Like my whole single string thing, and I got this from Bela Fleck, is you want to have your thumb on the downbeat and your index finger on the offbeat. And this guy's not doing this at all. And I've heard Wes Corbett say like, oh yeah, it really opened up my playing when I learned to get away from having my thumb on the downbeat when I'm playing single string. This is the kind of thing, like this hot dog whole phrase, I wouldn't be able to improvise or get into because I've practiced this stupid single string technique for so long. So this thing is an exception to like how I would play. This is outside of my personal banjo ascension formula, but whatever this guy's doing is on. So check this out. It's something like that. So yeah, notice that it's going to be index, thumb, right there, index, thumb, on the downbeat, index. So, okay, so I guess once he gets to this thing, he's making a polyrhythm, by the way. messed that up. That's got to be a 5. Yeah, so this guy, he's playing like it's a little 3-note pattern, like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and he's doing that. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. Yeah, so like this whole thing, like up to there, is just gonna be like index thumb, index thumb, index thumb, and that's kind of how he gets into that pattern. And then once he does this final little hammer on right there, then I would go thumb 1 thumb. He might be doing something different, but then right there you land with your thumb on the downbeat and you're kind of back into normal single string as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, that whole guy, this is like, that's hot dogging. It's rhythmically displaced, it's minor pentatonic, and then he goes into this whole double stop thing, which is like, I don't really play those, but he's playing at 165 beats per minute, which is like, this is 160, it's like that. He's improvising this. I mean, it might be prepared, but he's still pulling it off. You know? Like, that's hard. Like, that's at 160, that's insane that he's able to pull this off. Anyways, those double stops, G minor pentatonic kind of thing. I can do it, you know, like super slow. They'll go, and then he ends it with this kind of thing. Yeah, he ends it. Yeah, that's some straight ahead. Notice these 8th notes to get out of it, which is the more I get into banjo playing, the more I realize the 8th notes really allow like a rhythmic anchor to get in and out of phrases. And he's doing that like a pro. Once he's kind of in the G minor pentatonic position, but once he hits that open first string, he's back into Scruggs style. Yeah, so yeah, that's so that's impressive. What is that guy? I mean, right there, I'm gonna look at those 2 beats. You got a middle reverse and a thumb forward. Yeah, so this Clay Russell, I messaged him on Instagram, so I'm looking to get like a better feel for like who this guy is and what he's doing, because like where he comes from, because this stuff is very impressive. Keep your eye out for Clay Russell. Thanks for watching, everybody. Get the tab at patreon.com/Ricky Mier. This was because my boy Glenn wanted me to transcribe this. So it was in a lesson, so it's pretty cool that I got to be able to do this. That was fun. Thanks, Glenn, for making the suggestion. Get the tab, patreon.com/Ricky Mier. Reach out for lessons if you like at rickymier.com/lessons. Peace out.